The Avengers Project, which is the highly anticipated Square Enix Crystal Dynamics Marvel game, just got a name change, and we know that it's going to be at E3. A lot of people are speculating that this could be the start of a Marvel gaming universe. Some are even saying that this game might connect to the PS4 exclusive Spider-Man game, which came out last year. Might this be yet another sign of how Marvel and Sony are trying to figure out this Spider-Man thing?
It's like the news, but for nerds. Subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Today's shout out goes to DJ KJ. Indeed, Keanu Reeves was going to be Jan Rog in Captain Marvel. Make sure you stay to the end of the video where we will ask another nerd card question. What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you. I am, of course, Josh, and this is the Den of Nerds. And if you're a fan of the show and channel, make sure you smash that like button like you guys have been smashing the like button. It's seriously helping me out in unbelievable ways. So yes, indeed, we are going over a video game on today's Nerdy News Rundown. I know that's not our usual order of business over here, but with E3 right around the corner and the fact that many of you have been reaching out to us on social media and in the comment sections here on YouTube about this Avengers game, I felt like it was the perfect opportunity to do that and talk about the Avengers game. Also, you guys should know that over on the Den of Nerds gaming channel, there will be a part 2 of sorts for this video, which Justin is going to do. Justin is the guy that runs the Den of Nerds gaming over there. Yeah, we've got a gaming channel, guys, and we're actually putting a lot of work into that gaming channel in the coming months to try to get it up to the level of what we do here on the main channel. But yeah, go check out the gaming channel to see the part 2 of this video where Justin will be talking about some of the leaks and the gameplay stuff that is coming in the Avengers Project. And make sure you subscribe to that channel because there's gonna be a bunch of coverage about everything we learn at E3. But like I said at the top here, the main thing I wanna talk about in this video is the possibility of this Marvel gaming universe being established. You might have seen some videos or articles talking about this online already, but I wanna sort of aggregate the information and give you guys my speculation on why I think this is a huge possibility. Now, this game was announced 2.5 years ago, and development on it has been sort of quiet. We haven't had a lot of information about it, and it was a big surprise when recently we found out that it will be at E3 this year. They're going to be doing a full panel revealing this game to the world on June 10th, and you can bet we're going to be covering that on the gaming channel as well. But I want to talk about the possibility of this game being tied into a Marvel gaming universe and why I think it might actually connect to the PS4 exclusive Spider-Man game that came out last year. So the biggest new piece of information, the biggest reason that people are starting to believe this is because this game was originally titled The Avengers Project and now officially has its name changed to Marvel's The Avengers. And why is this such a big deal, you ask? Well, if you take a look at what was going on with Spider-Man PS4, a similar thing happened to that game where when its official name was revealed, it was changed to just Marvel's Spider-Man. Take a look at this clip here where one of the lead developers of the game talks about what it was like to be approached to do this game and what Marvel wanted to do with these series of games.
Or Marvel's just got to do this.
Yeah.
And then like a couple years later, they're calling us to do it, and I'm just like, oh my god, like so yeah, it's been awesome. Yeah, it's like, and we knew like some funny thing that like Marvel and I talked a lot about is this is the Iron Man. This is the one that's gonna start it off.
Yep.
Like this is the one that's gonna.
I just got chills.
Yeah, that we literally talked about it from day one as like this is the Iron Man. We can't F this thing up because it's a big thing for us. It's a big thing for them. It's a big thing for Sony.
The
Sony
future, yeah.
For PlayStation took a big risk. Everybody. So we like every single day we would think, got to be like Iron Man. It's got to be the Iron Man. So.
Pretty interesting stuff. The fact that he talks a lot about it being the Iron Man of that universe definitely implies that there's going to be more and more stuff to come. This, coupled with the fact that the name change is very, very similar, has people thinking that it could tie in to the PS4 game. This new Avengers game might tie in to one of the most amazing PS4 exclusive games ever, Spider-Man. Now, the word out there online is that this game, the PS4 Spider-Man game, was made as a Sony exclusive because Sony, of course, has the licensing rights to the Spider-Man character vis-a-vis their deal with Marvel Studios. This is something we talk a lot on this channel about. Mostly we talk about Spider-Man and Venom and the movie rights and everything like that, but it would appear that this deal does extend into the gaming world. But the rules are definitely definitely not the same. I mean, if you play the Spider-Man PS4 game, the Avengers are mentioned, the Avengers Tower is there, Black Panther is mentioned. There's a ton of stuff that is mentioned in the Spider-Man game that was not mentioned in the Venom movie, and one would think would be way more difficult for them to get away with in a movie. Now, despite a lot of these things being in the game, you never see the Avengers. You never interact with anybody that's on the main cast of the Avengers. But the game does set up future content even within its own universe. They set up Miles Morales, they set up Norman Osborn, so they set up a lot of stuff for the future. Now, interestingly enough, the Spider-Man from this game actually appears in Marvel Comics proper during an event called Spider-Geddon. Spider-Geddon is sort of a version of Into the Spider-Verse in the comic form, which of course was a comic originally as well. Marvel seems to be using the multiverse in a lot of its different properties. This is something that was in Avengers Endgame. It's obviously in Into the Spider-Verse. And we've been talking a lot on the channel about the multiverse as being a way for the Sony version of Marvel movies like Venom and Morbius to connect to the MCU versions of characters and movies, which would of course include, you know, the Avengers, Tom Holland, Spider-Man, and things like that. Now, it's yet to be determined on whether or not Venom would come into the MCU or whether Tom Holland would then go over to the Sony Marvel Universe and play, but the multiverse is the perfect way for them to accomplish this. This is something I've been talking to you guys about a lot, and it seems like, particularly with the Spider-Man PS4 character, they've already sort of done this to bring him into the comic books, but does this extend past that? Could you see a scenario where an Insomniac PS4 exclusive Spider-Man game and that character ties into a Crystal Dynamics Square Enix cross-platform game? Well, interestingly enough, the plot, at least part of the plot that we know of from Marvel's Avengers game, involves the disassembling of the Avengers, which some people are speculating could be the reason why they are not in the PS4 Spider-Man game. And if you think back to that clip we watched earlier, it seems like when Marvel approached Insomniac and when Sony Entertainment approached Insomniac, they had a pretty clear mandate and a pretty clear idea of where they wanted to go with this franchise. And I know it might seem like it's impossible because these are different engines, different companies, different publishers, different developers, but if the current state of the gaming industry has taught us anything, it's that sharing is now caring. The times they are changing in the gaming industry, and there's so many examples of this. There's cross-platform play on the new Call of Duty game, and that is touted as a huge feature that players want. Even on the Sony exclusive side, you've seen a little bit more sharing. Death Stranding, the new game by Hideo Kojima, uses the engine from Horizon Zero Dawn, which is its own proprietary engine to that independent developer. Two first-party Sony developers sharing tech, which is kind of crazy. There's also the news recently that Sony and Microsoft are teaming up in at least some way to combat Google Stadia and to attack games streaming services, which is thought to be the future of gaming. I say all of that to basically bring it to this conclusion that I wouldn't rule it out completely. Even though there are a lot of reasons to think that it might not happen, there's a lot of things that could get in the way with the way the gaming industry is changing, with the value that the Marvel IP has. It is definitely possible that you see some kind of a shared universe created. I think Marvel would really benefit from this. Having the PS4 Spider-Man game, which, you know, who knows, might become cross-platform, you know, maybe recently they'll bring out new version of that game for Xbox and PC and whatever. But yeah, I think it's totally possible and beneficial to all companies involved to have this kind of arrangement. But what do you think? Do you think it's possible that the PS4 exclusive Spider-Man game is going to tie into the new Marvel's Avengers game? I guess we'll know soon enough on June 10th, but for now we gotta speculate. So let me know if you think it's possible in the comment section below. Now let's check the nerd card before we get out of here. I want to know what other crazy Marvel franchise is supposedly developing a huge video game. This one's flying under the radar, but a lot of people are aware that it is on the docket. What crazy Marvel franchise is getting a huge video game treatment coming up? Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.